Hello students, standard 10, chapter number 15, probability. In our previous period, we learned about basic things about probability. Empirical probability we define, then after theoretical probability we define, and theoretical probability equation is, formula is P of E is equal to number of favorable outcomes to whatever your event, here is we take event E upon total number of outcomes. This is a this is a theoretical probability, or you can say classical probability formula. Okay, in which in numerator we have to write the favorable outcomes of event E and the total number of outcomes. So we get that event's probability. Okay, then after we learn about the elementary events, types of events we define. Elementary events means such an event whose outcome is only one. This is called the type of event is called the elementary event. And all elementary events probability summation is always 1. So we define that thing in our previous period. P of E plus P of F is equal to 1. Where E and F both are elementary event, means it's that event's outcome is only 1, right? So that thing we represent. Then after we define the complementary event in which whatever the event and its complementary event. Complementary means event means what? This is the event E, its complementary event is not E. This is called this both event is called the complementary event. Its probability summation is also 1. So that thing we also discussed in our previous period. P of E plus not E is what? We can represent by E bar is equal to 1. So P of E bar is equal to, we can write, suppose P of probability of any event is goes to the right hand side, so it will become a minus. So that is another formula for complementary event. Okay. Then after we define the sure event or certain event, The probability of an event which is occurred to sure, as we take the example, sun is rising in the east. So it is a sure event, right? And it is represented by 1. Its probability is represented by 1. And then after impossible event, the event whose probability is occurred to impossible, right? Suppose I said sun is set in the east. So sun is never set in the east, right? It is always set in a west direction. So this is an impossible event, and that event's probability is always represented by 0. Impossible event's probability is represented by 0. And then we define that probability of any event which is lies from 0 to 1, right? So its value is in between. Any event's probability is always in between 0 to 1. In a percentage, then we define, whenever you write the any probability is percentage, any event's probability in percentage, so it is lies on between 0% to 100%. And probability of any event is never be negative. Okay, so that thing we discussed in our previous period. Now we have to solve based on that exercise 15.1. In our first question, there is a fill in the blanks is given, right? So you have to take a question from the notebook, textbook. Here I told that there are questions. First question is that probability of an event E, that event's probability plus probability of event not E event's probability is equal to, they give the fill in the blanks. So that thing we already discussed here in our previous period. It is what? Always 1. Complementary events probability summation is what? 1. Okay. Now question number 2. There is given the probability of an event that cannot happen is blank is given. Such an event is called blank. So here is in a question number 2 they mention the probability of an event cannot happen. So cannot happen means what? This is a which type of event? This is a impossible event. Suppose we can represent a probability is what? By what? 0, right? And such an event is called the impossible event. So in a second one, there are 2 blank is given. So in the first blank 0 we have to write. In the second blank we have to write the impossible because it is not occurred. So that type of event is called the impossible event. The probability of an event that is certain to happen. Certain to happen means it is sure to happen. Whenever any event is sure to happen, so it is we can represent by what? It is represented by its probability is represented by 1 only, right? And such type of event is called sure or certain event. So question number 3 is first blank answer is 1 and second blank answer we can say sure or bracket certain event, right? Because they will give the probability of an event which is sure to happen. Now question number 4, there is given the sum of the probability of all elementary events of an experiment is blank is given. Here elementary events we discussed, these both are elementary events and its probability summation is what? It is a 1 only, right? So sum of the probability of all the elementary events of an experiment is 1. Fifth question is given in question number 1. The probability of an event is greater than or equal to blank is given and less than or equal to blank is given. So probability of an event is greater than or equal to what? 0 and less than or equal to what? 1. Right? So we can say in the first blank our answer is 0 and second blank answer is 1. Okay? So remember that thing, this is a 5 when the blank is given and it is a very simple which we discussed in our previous video. Now question number 2. And in that 4 questions are given. Question number 2 is what? Which of the following experiment have equally likely outcomes? Explain. So here we have to define the event is given, which is equally likely outcome or not equally likely outcome, right? So first question is given: a driver attempt to start a car. A driver attempt to start a car. The car start or does not start. Right? Here the person who operate the car, it is a driver, and driver know how to start a car, right? Normally in a 99%, 95%, you can, whenever the driver start a car, then we can say the car is start only, right? Only 5 to 10% case, or if any in a car any defect is there, then in that case only the car is not start. Okay, so we can say 90% chances are there in that case we can start the car, and only 10 to 20% or 10% we can say we cannot start the car, right? So we can say it is not a equally likely outcomes. Okay, we can say it is not a equally likely outcomes. Define not equally likely outcomes. Equally likely outcomes. Why? Because driver start a car. So whenever driver start a car, so in that case normally 90 to 95% the car will be start only, right? Now second question. A player attempt to shoot a basketball. She or he shoot or miss the shot. See, here is given a player. Player attempt to shoot a basketball, right? And she or he shoot or miss the shot. So it means what? Whenever any player would take the training of basketball, right? And he shoot the basketball, it means he get the 70 to 80% he shoot the basketball, right? If normal person, if he take without training and he attempt, then again we can say it is not a equally likely outcome, because in most of the chance on all the players take a training. So in 70 to 80% they shoot the balls, right? So we can say it is not an equally likely outcome. Only 20 to 30% they miss the shoot, right? So it is not an equally likely outcomes, because here we can say it is depend on the training of the player, and we can say the quality of basketball. Basketball it is also dependent here, right? Now question number 3. A trial is made to answer a true-false question. If there you have to any questions are given in which a question is maybe true or false. There are 2 chances, right? The answer is right or wrong. The answer is right and wrong. So that type of outcome is what? We can say it is equally likely, because if your question is true false, right? If your answer is true, then we can say it is a right answer, right? And if the answer is false, then we in that case, both outcomes have a equally likely outcomes only. It is a equally likely outcomes, right? And fourth one is given. A baby is born. It is a boy or a girl. Whenever any baby is born, right? So there are two chances only. Either it is a boy or girl. So boy or girl. So it maybe we can say the 50-50% chances. That 50-50% chances means what? It is a equally likely outcomes. Equally likely outcomes. Now remember, don't be confused here, because in the two cases we are not saying 50-50 outcomes are there. You cannot say in the first case there is given a driver start the car. So you cannot say in the first trial he start, in second trial he not start. Right? Because driver whenever start the car, then in 90 to 95% we can start the car. Here same way, a player shoot a football. So a player have a quality of shooting a ball. So 80% or 70 to 80% he shoot the ball only. Only 30 to 20% he not miss the shoot. Right? So in that case it is a not equally likely outcome. In both the case it is a equally likely outcomes. Okay. Now question number 3. Question number 3, which is given. Why is tossing a coin considered to be a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the beginning of the football game? You all are know in a cricket match, in a football game, for deciding which team take a first shot, right? So we toss a coin. So the question number 3 is given. Why it is a fair way? Why it is a fair way? So that thing we already discussed in the previous period. Because whenever you toss a coin, then you get the either head or tail outcomes, right? And in head or tail, in these two outcomes, we cannot predict which outcomes is every time this comes, right? And we cannot say it is a bias. Bias means you are not favor of that only particular one outcomes, right? So it is a unpredictable and unbiased. So that's why we can say it is a fair event, which is a tossing a coin for deciding which team take a first one, right? So question number 3, in which we have to define when we toss a coin, we get either head or tail, right? And both outcomes are unpredictable and unbiased. No one say always we get head, right? So it is not predictable, right? You may get the tail or you may get the head, or you cannot say every time you get the head only, because it is unbiased, right? So both outcomes are unpredictable and unbiased. That's why. And due to that, or you can say hence, so we define. So tossing a coin is a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the beginning of a football game. Okay. So this is the third question answer. Now question number 4. Which of the following cannot be probability of an event? See here 4 option is given. 2/3, B -1.5, C 15%, and D, which is a 0.7. They say which of the following cannot be probability of an event? Here 4 option is given. Probability of an event out of that 4, which is not possible. See, probability of an event which is lies in between 0 to 1. Right? So check the option. See, 0 to 1, this one is off, this one is lies in between 0 to 1. But question is given, which of the given option is not the probability of an event? So this one is a probability of an event, right? Second one, here I represent in a percentage, it is in between 0 to 100. So this is also possible for probability of an event, right? Now this one, whenever that thing you have to remember, whenever numerator upon denominator number is given in a probability of an event, then your denominator, if it is larger than the numerator, compared to numerator, our denominator is larger, then its value is always less than 1. That value is always less than 1. How you can say, suppose 2 we have to divide by 3. So it is not divisible, so we have to put 0 here and here is a 0. Right? 0 point. Now 3 6 are 18. So again 20, again 6 are. So that value is what? 0.66. 0.66 is a less than value 1. Right? So remember that thing. And in chapter number 15, your answer means all the remaining questions answer whenever you write in a numerator upon denominator form, then your denominator is always larger than your numerator. Okay, you have to remember that thing. Always your denominator is larger than your numerator, because we want to our probability of an event value which is always less than 1. Then it is possible. Okay, so this one is also we can say the probability of an event because its value is 0.686, which is a less than 1. So as per the question, which is not a probability of an event, cannot be a probability of an event. So that is one only B. Because as I have already discussed, probability of any event which is never be negative, right? So here we have to in our answer we have to mention the probability of any event never be negative, right? So that's why our answer is what? Minus 1.5. Okay, so these are the 4 questions. Now we have to solve the question number 5. Question number 5. See the question. Here is given if P of E. Here is given if P of any event which is given 0.05. So they said what is the probability of not E event? Not E events probability they asked. So you have to from the question you have to decide which events probability we have to take. See P of E and here is a P of not E. So E and not E event, it is which type of event? Complementary event. So complementary formula we have to apply, right? So using that we can find out the P of not E. So here we apply we can apply P of E plus P of not E is equal to what? 1. Complementary events probability summation is what? Always 1. In that one P of E value they give, which is a 0.05. And we have to find out the P of not E value. So we write as it is equal to 1 is there. That value we have to find out. So we take in the left hand side only. But numerical value which is a 0.05 we take in the right hand side, which is become a minus. Right? If any number you take equal to other side, then its sign is changed. Here is a plus sign. So that's why if it is goes to equal to the other side, so it is become a minus. So 1 minus 0.05. So we get the probability of not E is equal to 0.95. So this is our 5th question answer. It is very simple because E and not E is given. So you have to use the complementary event formula. Now question number 6. Question number 6. See, a bag contains a lemon flavor candy only, right? In a bag there are only lemon flavor candies are there. So they said Malini takes out one candy without looking into the bag. So what is the probability of that? C takes out. First question is given. We have to find out its probability, which is a orange flavor candy. So probability we have to find out the orange flavor candy. So what you have to take? Whatever the question, for that you have to take its event. We have to find out the getting the orange flavor candy. So we take a event E. Let event EB is equal to, we take the probability is getting an orange flavor candy. Right? Whatever the question, and they ask the probability of orange flavor candy. So whenever you take any candy from the bag, so you get the only lemon flavor candy, right? Never the orange flavor candy you get from the bag. Okay, so what we can say? Orange flavor candy we cannot get from the bag, right? Because in a bag only lemon flavor candies are given. So that event is never be happen. The never be happen is what? It is a impossible event, right? So we can say the favorable outcomes to event E is never be happen. Right? So we can say that event's probability of the event which is never be happen, its probability of it is always 0. It is an impossible event. Okay. In that the second question is also given. A lemon flavor candy. So for that what you have to do? You have to take the event F. Lemon flavor candy's probability you have to find out. So for that we have to take the event F. We have to write getting an lemon flavor candy. So what you can say? In a bag all are lemon flavor candy, right? If any one candy if you take, so it is always lemon flavor candies you get, right? So it is, we can say it is which type of event? It is a sure, because any candy you get from the bag always is a lemon flavor candy. So we can similarly we have to define the favorable outcome to event F. Here we have to event F is exist. Okay, always exist. Here we define never be happen. In that event, the favorable outcome of event F is always exist. Right? So we can say the probability of that F event's probability is 1 only. Because it is a sure. Any candy you get from the bag, it is a sure event, right? So its probability is always U of F is equal to 1. Okay. Now question number 7. See, it is given that the group of 3 students, the probability of 2 students not having the same birthday. They give the probability of 2 students not having same birthday, same birthday they give. Its probability is given, which is what? 0.992. 0.992. It is a probability of 2 students not having the same birthday. Okay. Now, what is the probability of? They said question is this one. What is the probability of? Whose one? 2 students have the same birthday. They ask what is the probability of the 2 students having the same birthday. So in that case it is very easy. Observe these 2 things. Whatever the event is given in a question, observe that 2 things. 2 students not having the same birthday and 2 students have the same birthday. This type of event is called which type of event? This is a complementary event, right? 2 students having the not same birthday and 2 students having the same birthday. So that type of event is called. These 2 events are complementary event. And complementary events probability summation is what? 1. Right? So using that we can find out the probability of 2 students have the same birthday. So here we have to apply the formula of complementary event, in which the probability of 2 students not having same birthday, here I write in a short form, same birthday, plus probability of 2 students having same birthday, in short, is equal to what? Is equal to 1, right? Because P of V plus P of V bar is equal to 1. Now in a question, not same birthday probability is given 0.992, right? Plus that thing we have to find out. So probability of 2 students having same birthday and is equal to 1 we get. Similarly, as we solve in the question number 5, same way we have to solve the question number 7. That 0.992 to the other side. So here is a plus side, it will become a minus sign, right? So probability of two students having same birthday is equal to 1 minus 0.992, right? So we get the probability of two students having the same birthday, is equal to what we get 0. See, subtraction how we can do, here I mentioned 1.00 you have to write and 0.992 you have to write. Okay, it's subtraction you have to do. So here we get the 0.008 we get 0 subtract 2 is not possible. So 0, 9, 9 and 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8, 9 minus 9 is 0, 9 minus 9 is 0 and this is a 0. So here we get 0.008. So this is the probability of even two students having the same birthday. Okay, so that way we have to solve the question number 7. Now question number 8 we have to solve. See the question number 8, in which a bag contains 3 red balls. So in a bag number of red balls is given, which is a 3, and number of black balls is given as a 5. Right? That thing is given in a first statement. In a bag, number of red balls are 3 and number of black balls are 5. They said a ball is drawn. So here I represent. This is one of the bag in which 3 red balls are there. Okay, and 5 black balls are there. This way. So total number of balls in a bag is what? 8 we can say, right? Total number of balls in a bag is equal to what? 3 plus 5 is equal to, we can say, is a 8. This is the total number of bags. Total number of balls means what? This is the total number of outcomes. As in a probability, this total number of outcomes for this experiment is what? It is a 8 balls, right? Now they say find out what is the probability of the ball is drawn. First question is given red. Red ball probability we have to find out. And second question is given find out the probability of not red. That probability we have to find out. So remember that thing. Whatever our question, we have to take as a event, right? Here we have to find out the probability of getting a red ball. So I take let the event E is equal to getting a red ball. Right? Getting a red ball. Now, whatever the event, its favorable outcomes, we have to write in a numerator. Then we get that event's probability. Right? That formula we have to apply here because probability of red ball we have to find out. So we take event E is getting a red ball in which its favorable outcome, number of favorable outcome. So how many red ball we get from the bag? We can say red ball we get as a 3 only, right? So we can define the number of favorable outcomes to event E. For that event, favorable outcome is how many get? That event is a red ball. Red balls we get from the bag is a 3, right? So and total number of outcomes in denominator we require, which is our 8. So that event's probability we can define now. We have to apply the formula. So P of E is equal to number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. Right? So favorable outcomes is what? 3. And total number of outcome is what? Total number of balls in the bag? 8. So P of E means P of getting a red ball. Its probability is what? 3 by 8. As I told you, your denominator is it is always greater than the numerator. Okay. Same way, second question we have to solve. So for that, whatever the event is given, for not a red ball. Not a red ball. Okay. Not red ball we getting. It means it's favorable. We have to write in a numerator of that event probability, right? So not a red ball means what? In a way, there are two types of ball, red and black, right? Not a red ball means what? You get only black ball, right? So its favorable outcome we have to write. So number of favorable outcomes to event F. Event F is what? Not a red ball. Not a red ball is we get as a 5 from the base, right? So probability of event F means what? Not a red ball. So its probability is represented by number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes. In which number of favorable outcome is 5 and total number of outcomes we can say is a 8. So this is the probability of the event which is represented as a getting a not red ball. Okay, that thing we can solve. This second question we can solve another way by another method. Or how? See, the red ball and not red ball. Red ball and not red ball. This is which type of event? It is a complementary event. So whenever you find first probability of red ball, then you can directly find out the probability of not red ball. How? Using that formula, right? So using that formula means what? Probability of red ball plus probability of not red ball is equal to what? Is equal to 1, right? As per the complementary event formula. Now probability of red ball here you find, which is a 3 by 8. In the first question you find, right? And that thing we have to require, not red ball, is equal to 1. That 3 by 8 is goes to the right hand side, so it is become a, this is a not red ball, become a minus. So 1 minus 3 by 8, right? So take the LCM. If you take the 8 as LCM, so here you have to multiply by 8 minus 3. So 8 minus 3 means what? 8 minus 3 means what? 5. Divide by is what? 8. Right? 5 by 8. Here is a 5 by 8. That way also you can solve using a complementary event. But you have to clear with that. It is a complementary event or not, right? Red ball and not red ball. It is a complementary event. So we have to apply the formula of the complementary event. Okay. So that way you can solve the question number 8. Now question number 9 we have to solve. Question number 9. A box contain 5 red ball. See, question number 9, I hope all of you solve similarly in your homework. Okay, because it is a similar type question. In short, I will give some instruction. In a box they give number of red marbles is equal to 5. Number of white marbles is equal to 8, and number of green marbles is equal to 4. So total number of marbles, how many you can say total number of outcomes which we require in a denominator of any probabilities event. Total number of outcomes means total number of outcomes, or you can say total number of marbles. Right? It what? Add all this one, right? So we get the 17 only, right? So they give the find out the probability of getting a red marble. So probability of red marble. How we can define? In numerator we have to write the favorable outcome. How many favorable red marbles are there? 5. Divide by denominator total number of outcome. Total number of outcome is what? 70. 5 by 70. Okay. Same way, the probability of second question is given white marble. Probability of white marbles you have to find out. So in numerator, what you have to write? Number of favorable outcomes of the white marble. White marbles, how many in a box? Is a 8. Denominator, total number of outcomes we have to write, which is a 17. 8 by 17. And the last question, which is the probability of not a green marble. Not a green marble means what? In a box, there are 3 types of marble. Not a green marble means what? You get the red or white marble, right? So you have to add them. So you get the 13. So there are 13 possibility in which you get the not green marble. So favorable outcome is a 13, and denominator is a total number of outcomes. 13 by 70. Okay, so that way you can solve the question number 9. Right?